Neo-Futurism, for those who do not know, is an art form that is rooted in truth. We do not play characters. We are who we are. We never lie, and we're not going to try to suspend your disbelief because, frankly, we do not have the time. Often, people ask, what do you mean when you say you are an experimental theater artist? And to illustrate what we are in some ways, we have a play that was written for you by our friend Colin Summers. It's called Experimental Theater as described by our cousin Mark. Go. Sound cue.
From across the table, Cousin Mark says, "Experimental theater, huh? What do you guys do? Cover yourself in full-body condoms and jump around making groaning noises until everybody is uncomfortable?" Say, well, that doesn't sound like something we would do. And again, you never know.
Which is an example and part of some of the theater that we do, but it's not all of it. We also do plays such as writing short dance pieces or monologues about what's happening in the world or talking about current events or shadow puppetry. What all of our plays have in common, however, is that they are very short. And we begin every play by saying the word go, and we end every play by saying the word curtain. So for this evening, we are bringing you 3 different monologues about New York. And to start us off, we have Rob Neill.
Give us this day our daily go. If everybody would please stand. Yes, this is participatory for everybody. And if you would, grab a hand around you, somebody else's hand, and let us begin. There is a box for each and every one of us. And in that box are all your dreams, like the one you're thinking now. And in that box are all of your fears, like the one about the rough and tumble government with no accountability, being hit by a bus like in the movies, bad sushi, shh. It's going to be okay, at least until the rapture. In the box are all the people you love and all the people you hate. There are truths and misperceptions, friends and mongooses, geeses. Anyway, it's a big box. So go ahead and stuff it full. If there were boxes for each and every one of us like that right here in this lovely studio, we would have no space for all of us probably. So what I'd like you to do now is everybody close your eyes. And picture your box, no matter how big it has to be, just floating there in front of you, all right? And then shrink it down in half, and then half again, and half again, and half again, and half again, until it's small enough to fit inside your mouth. Open your mouth. Put your box inside your mouth. That is tasty. That is the tastiest taste you've ever tasted, let's say, right? Yes, and now see that box sitting there on your tongue, and it's changing colors and spinning and shrinking and sliding down your throat and almost glowing like a Wonka-esque candy, settling and dissolving deep, deep inside of you, all of you here, all of you out there. And open your eyes. And know that having that, whatever was in your personal box, deep inside of you, is something that is totally all good. And believe me, because I have contemplated this from the top of my building, and I live in a tall building on the north side of Hell's Kitchen. Right? And now, in conclusion, if everybody would raise their arms up to the sky, and say out loud, I am thankful for whatever you're thankful for. Here we go. I am thankful for express buses. Yes. Yes, all that out there in here is amazing and accomplished And now we have all done that together. You. Please be seated. Thank you.
Audience volunteers. Can we get 2 audience volunteers to the stage? You're just gonna sit there and do some vague acting with us.
2, 1.
2 volunteers
Two
to the
volunteers.
stage, please.
One here. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
One from this side, yeah.
Yeah.
Take
Great.
his beer. Take
You
his
too,
beer
both
already.
of you. Thanks so much.
Yes. Yeah. One more. Come on up. Here, if you can just drape this. Yeah. However you like. Yeah. Yep. You can sit right there. Yes.
You ready? Fog.
It's just fake fog.
All right. Expressions of self-love, an excerpt from a larger piece I am working on called My Life. I'm over here, guys. There you go. Hi. Go. One of the things that I love about New York is its gay history. That's one of the reasons I moved to this city. I wanted to live here among it. I thought it would be exciting. You know, Stonewall, the mine shaft, the village in general. One thing that I loved a lot about gay culture are the bathhouses. I fell in love in a gay bathhouse when I was just 20 years old. The first few times I went there, I was so nervous I just put my towel on and then went to the bathroom and stood there and quaked in fear. But by the time this story takes place, I was confident. I had grown out my hair. I had become a sexual being. I liked to prowl, the silent codes, the ways eyes spoke and hands tasted. But most of all, on this summer's day when I went to the bathhouse, I went there knowing that I was going to fall in love. Do you ever have one of those days when you just know something's going to happen before it does? Today was one of those days. You see, I had never been in love before, so it felt very triumphant to me. But I just knew I was gonna meet some beautiful man that day. So as I stepped into the steam room, I did so with a heart full of love. So I sat down, and I made eyes, and I waited, and nothing happened. So to expedite this process, I decided I would instigate an orgy. My hand shot out and touched those around me. I began to slowly move them. Moans escaped. And as it got hotter and more primal, that's when it happened. I was in some man's arm, kissing his chest, when I discovered some limb. I began to kiss this arm as someone kissed me at exactly the same time. It felt so right, so much synchronicity. This clearly must be my love. I bit him, he bit back. It felt so perfect. This is what love must be. And I wanted to open my eyes so badly and gaze upon the face of my love, and then I did, when to my horror I realized I was making out with my own arm. Amongst all the other limbs in this orgy, I had lost track of it. You know, you don't expect an orgy to be the sort of place that you have a moment of self-revelation, but sometimes that's just what happens. It was hard for me growing up being gay. There was a lot of shame and self-inflicted pain. And in the words of my savior, RuPaul, if you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you gonna love somebody else? Well, maybe that's why I hadn't fallen in love yet, because I didn't know how to love me. Well, I learned how to that day, at least with a laugh that sent most of the other people from that orgy running away. I also learned one other thing that day, objectively speaking. I'm a really good kisser. Curtain.
Well done.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We'll take the towel
Thank
away
you so
from
much. You can take a seat.
Oops, sorry.
Watch. Yes.
An immersive experience. For one, go.
Would you come with us? This way. Thank you.
Hey, we're
Do you ever worry that you're missing out on something? I do all the time. It's an irrational fear, sure. I know I don't have the right to miss something when I don't know what that something is that I'm missing. But right now, talking to all of you, there are 1,000,001 things that I'm missing. A relaxing night in with my boyfriend, a night at a job that pays me well, an important call, a concert, an opportunity to tell this story better. I moved to New York City to be a playwright, which means it's easy for me to miss a meal and to dream of what might have happened if I studied law. But no matter who you are in this city, even just walking west means missing opportunity. In 4 blocks, I've missed tasting the #1 slice of pizza in New York City on 3 different times at 3 separate places. I've missed 44 songs played through 89 speakers. I've missed hundreds of connections with strangers I'll never stop and listen to, and getting hit by a taxi. The thing I miss the most, though, when my mind stops missing the fact that it's missing something, is everything I left behind by moving here. My family, my mother and father, my sister and brothers. I'm missing them grow older. Missing a life I said by the action of walking away wasn't good enough for me. And every day I worry if I made the wrong choice in choosing to write this dream. It's an irrational fear, sure, but I'm worried that I might not know my family anymore because I'm not there to witness them. And just as my brain is processing the fact that it might be missing what's important, the definition of important escapes me, and I think about everything I'm lucky enough to miss every day. Every bullet fired miles away, every body fallen before we've met, every child taken without a name, every cop who's missed my gaze because he was hunting someone darker over my shoulder. I'm afraid of these things too, but I'm not afraid of missing them. I don't have the right to miss something when I don't know what that something is that I'm missing, but I'm afraid of what might happen if we keep missing them, when all it takes to see them is to turn your head a little left. I'm worried that I'm cupping my hands under running faucets trying to build a lake. And as I think about the responsibility I have to everything I'm doing and the responsibility I have to everything I'm missing, I see a rat. And I wonder if it knows what it's missing. I wonder if it cares about its world that we're setting on fire. From where I sit, it is very successful at being a rat. And I wonder if it's happy. And if happiness and success is how happiness and balance is how we should define success, I wonder if it sees man as a parasite, an infestation calling itself God. I wonder if we got what we wanted, a legacy, the ones who saw their own demise but couldn't help themselves, the ones who forgot they were no better than a rat, and so blinded by routine, they traveled a long day's journey into night. Curtain, and that's our show.